Welcome you guys for the channel. So today in this video we will solve third type of problem on sequencing. Here we are processing n jobs through m machines. If you have missed to watch the first and second type, you can find that links, go and watch. So let us start with the first as a problem statement. As I said it, there will be n jobs here and that n jobs will be get processed on m machines. So the problem statement as it start like there are 4 jobs 1, 2, 3 and 4 to be processed on each of the 5 machines. A, B, C, D and E are the machines and they are given the order like A, B, C, D. Means what? The jobs has to go in this order. First it has to go machine A, then next B, like this way it has to go till machine E. Now in this case, find the total minimum elapsed time if no passing is permitted, and also they asked to find out idle time. So in this problem they asked to find out the total minimum elapsed time and they asked to find out idle time. Now here is a table. Here there are 4 jobs and 5 machines. So these 4 jobs will be getting processed on these machines and these are the timings. Means if job number 1 if start processing on machine A, it will take 7 hours. Like this way they have given for all the machines. Now let us first we have to discuss how do you convert this 5 machines into 2 machines. So in that cases we have a 2 conditions, like in the type 2 the condition that we used, in this type 3 we have a 2 more conditions here. So let us check that 2 conditions now. Now in that first condition is, here we have a 2 conditions. So first condition is the minimum time on machine A should be greater than or equal to the maximum time of B, C and D. So what is the meaning of this is, now we have to check what is the minimum time on machine A. So that I'll go back to my problem and I'll check what is the minimum time on the machine A. So here the minimum time that I'm getting here is on machine A is 5. Next, the maximum time of machine B, C and D. So here B and C and D. So in this B and C, what do we have to check it? We have to check the maximum time. So here, which is a maximum here in the machine B, 6 is a maximum. So in machine C, which is a maximum, 5 is a maximum. And in machine D, which is a maximum, that is 6. So 6, 5, 6. So the minimum time on machine A that I got it as a 5. The maximum time of machine B is 6. The maximum time on machine C is 5 and the maximum time on machine D is 6. So my phi is equal to 5 and even it is not greater than 6, but it is matching with this first condition, any either of these three. So my phi is equal to this 5. So first condition is satisfying it. Now let us go for the second condition. So in the second condition what is given is minimum time on machine E. So it should be greater than or equal to maximum time of the machine B, C and D. So let us go for it. So machine E is this column. Here I have to check what is that? We have to check for the minimum number. So in this E machine the minimum time I am getting is 6. So 6 I'll write it is greater than or equal to, again same we have B, C, D. So I'll copy the same thing here, 6, 5 and 6. So the second condition also satisfying. My 6 is equal to 6. So my 6 is greater than 5. My 6 is equal to 6. So in this case also my second condition is satisfying. So when these 2 conditions are satisfying, we can convert the 5 machines into 2 machines. So my 2 new machines are, I'll call 2 new machines are G and H. So in G what has to be done? See, in G machine we have to add these 3 things, that is A, B, C and D. So leaving the last machine we have to add 4 here. So there are total how many are there? There are 5 are there. So leaving the last one we have to add this, that is I'll write this G is equal to the addition of A plus B plus C plus D. So I'm leaving the last one. So similarly my H will be what? So now H will be what? So I should leave now A first. Now I have to leave and I have to write the remaining machines, that is B, C, D and E. Okay, so I'll write here the H is equal to B plus C plus D plus E. So these are my 2 new machines. So G will be equal to the addition of the timings of machine A plus B plus C plus D. So here leaving the last one. And H will be what? H will be leaving the first one. Here G is leaving the last one and H is leaving the first one. So I'll write now two machines. So G and H. And how many jobs I have? Jobs will be 4. That is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I'll be now making the machine G. So G is what is equal to? G is nothing but A plus B plus C plus D. That is, I'll be adding this timing now. So that is 7 plus 5 plus 2 plus 3. So if I add this, so I'll get 17. So 17 is a time. Next, what is H is equal to? H is nothing but what? B plus C plus D plus E. Means what? I have to add, leaving the first one, 5 plus 2 plus 3 plus 9. I have to add this. If I add this, I'll get my timing as 19. So I'll fastly fill this remaining timings now. So here 21, 25, 20, 23, 16 and 14. So these I have converted. So what is the conclusion that from here is? So I have converted 5 machines into 2 machines. Now let us go with the finding out the sequence now. We have to find out the optimum sequence. So the finding out the sequence, the method what I have told is, so how many jobs are there, that much blocks you created. So I'll create a blocks now. So I'll be creating 4 blocks here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now in this 4, I'll be fitting the sequence now. And sequencing as usual, if the minimum time finds on machine G, you start sequencing from left to right. And if minimum time finds on machine H, you start sequencing from this side, that is from right to left. Now let us find out in this table which is a minimum number here. So here the minimum number I have got here is 14. Okay, this is a minimum time among this. So 14 is for which machine? That is for machine H. And it is for which job? That is for 4th job. So I'll sequence this 4th job at last. Why? Because the machine, this minimum time is found on machine H. So my sequencing will begin from this end and my sequenced job will be 4th. So once you sequence this, you just delete from the table. Now you look for next minimum number. So the next minimum number here is 17. And this 17 is for machine G. And this is for job number 1. So if you find the minimum time on G, you have to sequence from left to right. So that is this one. From like this way you have to sequence it. And it is for which job it is? It is for first job. So I'll sequence job number 1 here. Next, once you sequence it, you delete this from the table. Next, you go for the remaining 2 now. So here again you find out which is the minimum number here. So here the minimum number is 20. So minimum number is 20 among these 4 values. So this 20 is for job 3 and it is for machine G. So I'll sequence job number 3 from left to right. So here the 3rd job will be located. And what I'll do is once you sequence this, you delete from the list. And finally we have left it with only 1 job, that is the 2nd job, and you just take it here this side. So this is my optimum sequence. So we have to sequence the jobs 1, 3, 2 and 4. So this is what we found out as sequence. Now in order to find out the total minimum elapsed time, what we need to do is, so you first whatever the calculated sequence is there, so in that order you take down the jobs. And since we have 5 machines, so for that each machine you have to write in time and out time. So let us start with the machine A. Okay, so now first job number 1, it's going to start processing on machine A with the in time as 0. And we have to check for what is the minimum time or what is the processing time for job 1 on machine A. So here you have to go back to the problem again, given problem, and here for job number 1 for machine A it takes 7 hours. So it enters at 0 hours and when it get exit, so it will be 7. So what we need to do is simple technique, we have to go on adding the processing time for each job on that machine. So next one, once it get finished job number 1, now job number 3 is going to enter on machine A. So job number 3 will enter to the machine A after completing the job number 1. So my job number 1 will be getting completed at 7 hours. So after 7 hours only, this job number 3 is going to enter. So my in time for job number 3 is 7. Next, what you need to do is, for this 7, we have to add the processing time of job number 3 on machine A. So again, we have to go for problem. So we have to check what is the timing for job number 3 on machine A. So here it requires 5 hours. So we have to add 5 for this. So already 7 we have. So to this 7 we have to add 5 for this. So I'll get 12 as a out time. So next what we need to do is, so next will be job number 2. So job number 2 is going to enter after the third one. So it will enter after completing this. So I'll write in time as a 12, and the job number 2 will take on machine A as a 6 hours. So I'll be adding a 6 for this. So it is 18. So similarly, finally we have the fourth job. Fourth job is going to enter after completing the second one, and my second job is going to getting completed at 18. So after 18 hour only, the job number 4 is going to enter to the machine A. So I'll write here 18. So fourth job on machine A. Fourth job on machine A, it will take 8. So when I add 8 for this, I'll get 26. So my 26 will be what? Out time for job number 4. So once you're done with this job number for all the jobs on machine A, now we'll write for machine B now. So machine B, after the job 1 completed on machine A after 7 hours, so after 7 hours only it's going to enter to the machine B with the in time as 7. Now what we need to do is, there is simple technique. We have to go on adding the timings of jobs on machine B. Okay, so job number 1 on machine B, it will take 5 hours. So we have to add this 5 hours for this in time. So when I add this, I'll get my timing as 12. Okay, now once job number completed on machine B, now which job is going to enter now? Job number 3 is going to enter. Now question comes, what should we write here? So as the third job is going to getting completed at 12 hours, and job number 1 is also getting completed at 12 hours. Okay, so here it will be 12. Simple technique is, whichever the maximum you find it here, this or this, whichever the maximum is there, that you write it. So now job number 3 on machine B. So job number 3 on machine B, it will take 4 hours. So I have to add this 4 for this. So here I'll get 16. Next we have to write the for job number 2 on machine B, and job number 2 is going to enter machine B at what time? So that is a question here. So here we have a 16 and here we have a 18. So we have to write the maximum, that is 18. The method here is, see, since this third job has completed at 16, still this job number 2 is busy with the machine A. So we cannot directly enter into this. So it has to wait now. Machine B has to wait now till it get completed. So that is what we have to take the maximum among this. So 18 will be the timing here. Now job number 2 on machine B, it will take how much time? Job number 2 on machine B, it will take 6 hours. So I have to add for this. So when I add 6 for this, that is will be 24. Now what we should write here? 26 we have here, 24 we have. I'll write maximum, that is 26. So job number 4 on machine B, it will be 3. So here it will be 27. So when I add this, it will be 29. Next I'll write it similarly, this third machine, fourth machine and fifth machine, and finally here I'll get the minimum elapsed time. So let us find out that now. Now I similarly filled the remaining machines, that is machine C, D and E. I have written the in time and out time, whichever the method I followed for the machine A and B. So at the end, I'll get the out time for job number 4 on machine E as 51. So here it's going to end. So that means we need 51 hours to complete all the jobs on all the machine. And that is nothing but what? The total minimum elapsed time. So for this problem, my total elapsed time is equal to 51 hours. So this much time is required to complete all the jobs on all the machines. Now let us find out the idle time for all the machines now. And the formula will be simple. The formula is the total minimum elapsed time minus the processing time of machine A. If I am finding out the idle time for machine A, what we need to do is I have to subtract my this 51 is my total minimum elapsed time minus the processing time for or the total processing time on machine A. So when I add the timing for machine A, so I'll get a total of 26. So this 26 hours the machine A will be busy. So I'll be subtracting this 26 from the total minimum elapsed time. So by subtraction, how much I'll get it? We have to write it as the idle time for machine A. Now similarly, we can write it for the machine B, C and D with the same formula. The formula will be remain same, that is total minimum elapsed time minus the processing time for machine B. So this will be remain constant, that is a 51 minus we have to subtract the processing time for machine B. So here total will be, it is 18 hours. So we have to subtract this 18 from 51. You will get the idle time for machine B. Similarly, you can find out the idle time for C, D and E. So this is how we need to calculate the sequence, the elapsed time and the idle time.